Jim grew up literally in the newspaper world. I mean, I'm sure I can see him a little boy running around in the office. He started helping, doing odd jobs around the office.
My granddad bought the paper. He was a railroad agent for the GM&O Railroad that ran through there. He bought the paper in a disagreement over an election with the publisher. My grandmother had graduated from what is now the University of Montevallo, English major, and he went home at lunch and says, "Get your clothes on, you're going down, you're editor of the newspaper. I bought it this morning." So that's the way my family got into the Centreville Press.
Jim's family is just Centreville. I mean, that family has been looked up to through the years in terms of leadership in that community. Obviously, if you have the newspaper that tells the story, it's something that people gravitate to in a small town.
After high school graduation, Jim Oakley came to the University of Alabama to major in journalism, and he became involved in campus journalism activities.
A few stories for the Crimson White, shoot a picture now and then, and the university decided to put me on payroll with what was then the University News Bureau, now University Relations, which is huge.
Oakley returned to Centreville to work with the family enterprise following his graduation from the University of Alabama.
Whether it's an editor of a daily paper or a weekly paper where they're well respected, they're opinion leaders and respected in their communities. And this was true of the Oakley family, Jim, father, his mother, himself, in Bibb County.
You talk to people in the newspaper world, and they all know Jim Oakley. He was president of the association, Alabama Press Association, many years ago. I think it was in the early 80s. And then he continues to go to the meetings. He's been going since he was a little boy with his parents. He and his late wife, Shirley, could cut a rug. They were dancers, ballroom dancers, excellent. And at Press Association meetings, late at night, after the band started playing, late in the reception, the two of them would be out there dancing, and not only was he dancing with Shirley, but he would spot other wives, particularly of husbands who didn't like to dance like me. He would dance with my wife some, and they'd have a great time because he was an excellent dancer.
In 1984, Jim Oakley sold the newspaper and responded to an invitation to come to the University of Alabama, initially as a teacher and later as a career counselor and recruiter.
Dr. Thomas called me, Dr. Joab Thomas, who was president of the university, wanted what I was going to do, and I told him that I was going to bass fish, have a big time. And he said, "Well, Jim, we need you over here. The journalism department would like to have you over here to help a little bit." So I said, "Well, Dr. Thomas, I'm not a professor." And I never will forget, he said, "We don't want a professor. We want somebody to teach these kids how to produce a prize-winning newspaper like you did."
Jim was on the very first Commission of Higher Education for the state of Alabama and later chaired that commission. And Joab Thomas, when he was president of the university, got to know Jim in that capacity. You've got to have a figure in any college that embodies the kind of spirit of, I can do something for you, I can help you, someone who feels to them like a family member.
One of the most important assets the University of Alabama has had in its effort to recruit the best and brightest is Jim Oakley. When a prospective student meets Jim, they know they're in the presence of a gifted and caring teacher. And equally important, when the parents of that prospective student are with Jim, they know that if their child comes to the University of Alabama, their child will be in good hands. A significant percentage of the best and brightest who are on our campus today are here because they met Jim Oakley during their campus visit.
One interesting thing about Jim is not too many people know, with his column, Rambling Thoughts, he started in 1972 when he became editor and publisher, and it still runs today, 3 owners after he sold the paper. They still smart enough to put that local column in the paper.
He outstayed 4 deans, including me. He's there forever. And how blessed we are that he has been.
He had a long 28-year career in the newspaper industry, and now he's had, I believe, a 28-year career with the university. And Jim, if I could make one wish for you, I hope we get another 28 years.
Taught a lot of students, made a difference in their lives at the University of Alabama, and I congratulate him on being admitted to the Hall of Fame.